Hi everyone, welcome to this reading. I have my crystal ball off to the side, so I will be scrying throughout this message. If you're new to my channel, my readings are a little different, and if you're returning, welcome back. You know how we do if it doesn't resonate with you. If you're forcing the story to fit, arguing with it in any way, just leave it behind for the people who it's meant for. So let's go ahead and let's begin. Lay down, what are you doing? Okay. Uh-oh, the second one's coming in here. Oh, this means they're going to start playing at any moment. All right. Taking a step aside. And allowing Spirit to pass through me. Opening up to receive information. Okay, I'm seeing a sailboat. And, I don't know if this is important. I'm seeing a sailboat, and it's like out in the ocean. There's nothing else around, and it's just very calm. And then it's like that moment before the wind hits the sail, like a wind is gathering. There's something here that has been self-initiated that is causing this energy to change. So the collective that I'm going to be reading for, it feels like you've been in this period of pause. I feel like this period of pause has lasted maybe about 3 or 4 months. Okay, it's been a little while. For some of you, it may have been longer, but there's something here that has changed. We've been given this sort of pause long enough that we've gleaned everything that we can from particular situations in the past. And because we've gleaned this information from particular situations, there's something about us that has become a little different. Maybe it's due to some sort of illumination. But this is what is now about to cause this wind to pick up inside of our sails. There's some forward movement that's going to take place. For some of you, I feel this forward movement is in relation to situations that maybe aren't necessarily the kinds that you really wanted, right? It's almost like life threw you a curveball and you're having to take care of something. But essentially what's happening is this is getting you to move the energy, okay? Okay. Okay, we have Vulture and Asphodel, which is upheaval, and then we have the Wolf and Rosehip, which is guardianship. What this is kind of saying to me is that one of the things that may have been a lesson that we've had to learn during this period of calm is really how to be a good steward of our own energy during periods of upheaval. I feel that for some of you, especially if you're finding yourself in a less than favorable situation right now, which is causing this energy to change for some of you, I think that you're really trying to be a good steward of your own energy. There's you may not be, I notice I keep getting a frog there. You may not be speaking about this with very many people, or you may not be speaking your whole truth about it with very many people. It's almost like because you're trying to guard and protect and be a good steward of your own energy, you're not trying to speak negative things into your life. So you may not be talking about how you really feel about something for some of you. But I feel like this is all it's all kind of like this, I'll put it this way, right? It's kind of funny how when you start making moves for yourself and when you start finally doing things that are really in alignment with you, how very occasionally along that process, just as you're making those steps, something happens, right? That's kind of the energy this is giving to me. I feel that whoever I'm reading for, you were in this pause and maybe you just had some recent breakthroughs and now something happens. The problem with most people in that situation is that that's where they give up. Right? And that's exactly the moment that you don't want to give up, because it's the energy barrier that is being created by, how do I want to put this? It's the energy barrier being created by the box and the limitation that you're used to living in. So if you always reach that barrier and then you turn back around, you never grow beyond that box, right? The subconscious mind has this way of causing things to happen, of really sort of sabotaging us in a lot of ways, not just inside our mind, inside of like our beliefs, our thoughts, our actions, but in world events, right? It can sabotage us in very real life ways. And when we turn around, we allow that to continue to keep us hemmed in. We're not training it that no, we want something more. And so whoever this message is for, I feel that for some of you, this is kind of a message coming through to say, don't give up, right? Whatever boundary or barrier you've just brushed up against. And for some of you, it kind of feels disastrous. I'm not going to lie. There's a couple of you where this is like seriously like life devastating sort of stuff. Don't give up there, because that's what that's designed to do, right? It's designed to keep you the same, because at a very core level, we really like to be comfortable, even if it's a place that we don't like. We like to stay stuck in some ways. And so if you've been trying to change, if you've been trying to break out of some sort of box or some sort of holding pattern, allow yourself to go through the experience and to continue going forward. Okay, for some of you, I do have to say this because it's something that just came through real fast. For some of you, this is about you making a lot of changes and the people around you don't like it, right? I've gone over it before in a previous video. A lot of times people will kind of shit on people who have a hard time with that. But really, in reality, like, you know, people are used to us a particular version, and that's the version of us that they loved. And nobody wants to lose the person that they loved, right? So if you're making certain moves for yourself and you're doing different things, sometimes it's not because people don't want you to succeed. Sometimes it's because in your success, you as a human being, your quality, your character changes. And so these people are losing the version of you that they grew to love. And so there may be a little bit of compassion or empathy that needs to be extended to some people in that space, if you choose to, right? You don't have to choose to. Now here we have the Seven of Cups, we have the Hierophant, we have the Queen of Pentacles, and underneath all of this is the Two of Wands. So there's some sort of decision that is coming up for someone. I feel it's more coming up. Some of you may have already gone through this, but it's, do I pick this path or do I pick this path, right? Do I do this with my energy and my time, or do I do this with my energy and my time? Or I'm getting some heat for the person I'm becoming. Do I stay the same or do I grow out of it, right? I'm coming up against this barrier, this boundary. Do I stay where I've always been and allow this to dissuade me from moving forward, or do I push past that propensity in order to grow and expand? So with the Seven of Cups, this can be something where you have some options now, right? You have to dream bigger for yourself, or allow yourself to stay in those big dreams that you've cultivated for yourself, because what's happening right now is this lesson. And this is what's being represented by the Hierophant, the power to loose and the power to bind. And that power has always been with you, right? The power to make certain choices has always been with you. When we receive these obstacles or these setbacks, and sometimes we do receive the door slams, right? I'm not necessarily talking about the door slams. For some of you, you're confusing the slam of the door with the feeling of a door being slammed. And those are two completely different things. An obstacle and something that makes things even more challenging or even more difficult isn't necessarily a dead end. And so with this energy, it's really asking you to, if you are in a situation that's a little bit difficult, to ask yourself, is this really a dead end? Is this really like game over along this trajectory? Or is this just a test? Is this just a period that I have to get through this difficult energy in order to find the other side? Remember, the only way through the shadow is through it, not shutting it down, not turning the other way, right? The only way over this material inside of your life, or this holding pattern, is by going through it, by moving through it. Here with the Queen of Pentacles, this is about what you actually care about, right? These are perfect moments in time where we actually get to prove what really matters for us, right? A person is willing to fight for things that matter for them. So how much are you willing to fight for it? Some of you, you know, this is a moment in time where this is giving you this choice. Is this something that you genuinely care about, or is it something that you thought that you cared about, right? This is kind of like the difference between a goal that we have and then a dream, right? Those are two very different things. Is this thing that you have been trying to move forward with, or this idea that you've gone forward with, is this a goal that you have, or is it something that is actually a dream of your soul? So it almost feels like whoever this message is for, whether you're in a difficult situation or if you've just now experienced that the energy is about to change, it feels a little bit like you're being asked to really get clear on what it is that you truly want. Not what you think you want, not what everybody else wants you to want, not what, you know, you've laid out as these little milestone marker goals, but what is it that you truly want for yourself as a person? Okay. What? No, I put that back in the wrong deck. Okay, so this is from yesterday's. This is from yesterday's reading. Again, I'll have that linked at the end of the video. The day before's video is always linked at the end. So yesterday's video, these two came out, and I must have put this back in this deck. It's the Spider and Passion Flower, and then we have the Page of Pentacles. So if this reading resonates for you, definitely check out yesterday's reading. The Spider and the Passion Flower, this is about being able to weave the future for yourself, being able to weave particular directions, right? Within reason. I don't know why I feel the need to put within reason in this reading. I usually don't like saying things like that, but for some reason that's what's coming out, so I'm going to say it. With the Spider and Passion Flower, it's almost like our life up until now has been woven by us, and now we're being given an opportunity to weave a new thing. We have the Page of Pentacles. This opportunity, this thing that we're moving towards, this is something that is solid for ourselves. But again, with these two kind of touching, this Hierophant and the Queen of Pentacles, the question is this something that you genuinely want? Right? For some of you, you're going to decide that the trajectory that you've been on or the thing that you've been pursuing isn't what you want, and that's okay. This is just simply a moment before that sailboat takes off where you get to finally assess, like, okay, is this really what I want before we get moving? Because the energy is about to move, right? Okay. I'm putting that Two of Wands there. This was that energy of the decision that's coming. Okay, and then the Page of Wands. Yeah, and this decision is vital to this new direction. When we have the Page of Wands, this is a new journey, right? This is somebody who is about to embark on the next phase of their life. And usually when I pull the Page of Wands, this kind of makes me feel the same as the Eight of Cups, except for me it's a little bit more positive than the Eight of Cups can be. This is a little bit more of that hero's journey, right? But with the Page of Wands, this is somebody who's embarking on the hero's journey not out of some sort of lack of fulfillment. They're doing it out of this newfound passion. So whoever this message is for, this moment in time that is coming out of this holding pattern is really this self-reflective moment where we get to decide not just what we really want, but what it is that we can be passionate about long term, right? This almost makes me think of like that spark of the soul. What is it that we were here for? What is your vision for yourself? And not everybody has an easy time answering that. And so this is where the self-reflection comes in, right? Really allowing yourself to dig deeper into yourself than you've dug before. Many times there's this moment where when we're trying to do that, we receive this resistance, right? This resistance might be an agitation. The resistance might be just this feeling of unease and unsettling. And it's the same thing as that barrier of the obstacle. Basically what you're doing is you're digging deeper than you've dug before into your own wants and your own desires. Persist through that. Allow yourself to sit in that space and to keep going. Sometimes the answer that you're looking for is just on the other side. So I'm going to keep this very simple because this is just a simple energy that's coming through. This is really all that I'm getting. And if this resonates for you, please hit that like button. Feel free to leave me a comment. And until next time.